Today I'm out in the brewery getting ready to brew a batch of beer. I'm going to do a summer ale and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Well, before I get started today, I was going to give you guys kind of a proper tasting on that last beer that I did, that Trackhouse Amber. I did a short video on it, but I don't think very many people viewed it. It was real short. Well, I got some water and stuff running in the background, kind of cleaning and rinsing some of my kettles and stuff out to get ready for my brew day. I went ahead and poured a beer. Show you guys. It's a little bit over carbonated. Point it towards the, there you can see the color of it. So turned out really good. You guys have to take my word for it. It's kind of borderline between an amber and a brown. I'd almost consider it more of a brown ale than an amber. You get more of a maltier or a malt taste coming through than the hops, but it's still pretty easy drinking. It's low IBUs and low alcohol, a little bit on the low side, so just a nice summer refreshing beer. So my first step is I'm going to get my water going, warming up to mash in. Looks like I need on my recipe my 9 gallons. I'm mashing in with 9 gallons of water at 160 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling up my hot water tank and get it going. Alright, I got my water warming up, mashing in 9 gallons of water at 160 degrees. Got the burner lit. And we are warming up. So while that's heating, I'm going to start getting my grain bill together and I'll show you guys my quantities and a look at everything I'm using. My grain bill was 14 pounds of 2-row, 11 pounds of white wheat malt. My boil consisted of 3 ounces of Cascade at 60 minutes, 2 ounces of Cascade at 10 minutes, 2 ounces of lemon zest at 10 minutes, and 1 teaspoon Grains of Paradise at 60 minutes. I'm also using 2 packages of Safe Brew Ale Fermentus number S33. My water is still warming up. While it's getting up to temperature, I've got all my grain in my mill. In the mill I just set right on top of my mash tun and I grind it just straight in. So here's the grind that you're looking for. I don't know how well you can see that, but a lot of the husks are still kind of fully intact but cracked open, and most of the grain is crushed to a certain extent. Okay, I just hit my strike temperature, 160, burner's off. I'm getting ready to turn the pump on and start pumping into my mash tun. I like to pump in underneath. This absorbs a little bit better, a little less dough balls. But the single most bit of advice that I could give a new person is to not be afraid to stir. Once you get that water in there, stir. You got to break up all that dough, all the dough balls and clumps, and really incorporate a lot of that smaller grain, the starches, to get your sugar and your specific gravity up. It'll help considerably. I'm sorry about the audio quality. I've got a great big vent fan that's right above us sucking all the moisture and stuff up, so the audio is a little off. But here you can see how fast I'm recirculating the wort. Just a slow pour. I sat and stirred up the mash for a good 5 minutes. Made sure that all the dough was broke up and it was all well incorporated into the liquid. So now we're going to let it sit and mash for 1 hour at right around 150 degrees. Here's a look at the wort. See how clear it's already running. So while my mash is resting, I got a good hour, I'm gonna go ahead and get my sparge water warming up. And it's 6.15 gallons at 170 degrees is what I want to sparge with. Alright, it's been an hour. I'm starting to raise up my mash temperature to 170 so I can start sparging. Almost there. Here's a look at the wort. So I'm starting to sparge. You can see how slow I've got the liquid transferring over, the hot wort. You want this to go as slow as you possibly can stand it to get the best specific gravity and get the most sugars and stuff out of the grain. So I like to fly sparge, even though half my recipes say batch, but that's not what I normally do. So I'm getting ready to turn this pump on here. Get the valves opened up. Got the lines wide open until I get it bled. And there you can see it starting to flow. And I'll turn this one down to where it's just a treacle, just barely flowing, just to kind of maintain that liquid height. I'll see if I can get this to, I want it to take at least 20-30 minutes or longer to do. The slower you can do it, more of the sugar you'll get out of the grain. Yeah, we're right before it's getting ready to start boiling. I got it all sparged out, and I'm going to go ahead and add the hops. My first addition of hops, especially if it's a 1 hour boil or 60 minutes, I always kind of add them a little bit early, get as much of the IBUs and stuff out of them as I can. Now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of grains of paradise to the beginning of the boil. Freshly ground. Some of my spent grain going to the compost pile. I'm going to start cleaning up a couple of my kettles while I'm getting ready to boil this one. Alright, I'm down to the last 10 minutes. Going to add my last allotment of hops and the lemon zest. Here we go. Alright, I'm getting close to flame out. I'm going to start hooking up my hoses to my wort chiller so we can start cooling it down. I'm down to the last couple minutes of my boil. I turned my mash pump on so I could circulate some water through my wort chiller to sanitize it. So I'll just keep running it until I come back to a boil. Should be good. Yeah, I got the boils done. I got the burner turned off and I'm starting to recirculate the wort, chilling it. While it's cooling, I'm going to check my specific gravity and my numbers and stuff and make sure I hit my marks. Make sure I didn't have any problems that I didn't know about. Something maybe I can correct. So while I got this wort chilling, I let it just kind of splash back into the kettle as it's recirculating to kind of help aerate it. And usually by the time it's chilled and I transfer it over to my fermenter, it's got enough oxygen to get a good fermentation. So, you know, I do run kind of the risk of getting some contaminants with the open kettle like this, but as long as I pitch enough yeast, it takes care of the oxygen pretty fast and nothing else normally grows. I haven't really had a problem yet, knock on wood. So I got my temperature down to about 80, about as low as I can get it efficiently off our tap water. It runs pretty warm this time of year. So I got the lines all hooked up and I'm transferring it over to my fermenter. And then I will use my glycol chiller to get it down to pitching temperature for the yeast. And should go pretty good. So I'll let it ferment for, you know, probably the primary be about a week, and then the secondary for a second week, and then I'll probably lager it for maybe a third week before it's done. And this one being a wheat, it's not going to get super clear. It'll have a little bit of a haze to it, but everything went pretty good today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.